last meeting to approve those. We'll just throw them into the minutes.
Do you have a copy of the minutes?
Yeah,
Approve.
on it. Anything else, Mark? Changes to me, sorry. It's on this motion. Approve the minutes. Shane, did you bring with you like a current inventory?
I didn't, because I don't feel comfortable with it. I don't know. There was some stuff bought before I started, so I don't know how it was purchased or who purchased it or what. So, I mean, I think it's best if you just talk with Summit and get the list from them. I know Frank's got a list, so.
Yeah, Frank, we'll be ready to get that to you.
Yeah, I've been doing farm work and books, so I'll have a list by the next meeting.
If the guy goes back and looks at the previous minutes, it should all be in the minutes under all the townships.
Yeah.
We own a dump truck, right?
But that,
The dump truck, we own half of that?
yes,
Yeah.
That's not in the minutes.
Well, it's probably in the company.
it should be way back when Bob Jones was on, yeah, that was before my time, so.
It's not in there.
But you should have had a list, you know, when your township and both bought.
Where is it then?
I mean, I said you should have had
Yeah,
a list as
we're
a
on the board for
township.
60 days.
Shouldn't you have a list, Frank?
What?
Shouldn't you have a list? If they should have a list, you should have a list.
I do.
Or make a copy.
It's on my computer,
Oh, okay.
and I've been busy, I farm, okay, I'm
That's
still,
fine.
I'm not retired,
That's fine.
but I have a list on my, but I
That's
have
fine,
to,
I said.
but I have to go through the new equipment
Sure.
to pick it
So
all
there
out.
is a list. You gotta make a list.
Yes, but I mean, we know what we own.
Yeah.
And as well as all the township should know what they also bought with us, right?
Trying to get it clear. I guess.
Yes. Yep.
And we won't have that until the January meeting? That
Well,
was
it's just a couple of weeks, ain't it? Yeah, we got holidays coming up.
I'm just asking, because it was already a week ago that we asked for it.
Well, I'm,
What's going on, Tom?
Fair enough,
yeah,
fair enough, but I've got
you know,
something that will help.
this isn't my job. This was thrown on us, don't look like that. I'm gonna demand respect or I will leave this meeting. I do not need crap like that.
What's
This-
your
this
job
is-
as
this
a
is
board
not-
member?
This is not my job. My job is to be a farmer. I'm on a board to help with roads, culverts. Okay, but, and I will put that list.
As the chairman of Summit Township Republic, I turned to this man and I said to him, prepare a list and have it ready to go for the January meeting. He is working on that assignment and he will successfully complete that assignment at the January meeting. Anybody that has heartburn with my decision to do that and make that request to my fellow board member can take it up with me. He doesn't have to sit here and go through that, okay? He doesn't. It'll be available to you at the January meeting, okay? All right.
Question I have is why was this meeting called to order that we didn't have concluded the last meeting we had? What's going on here? And was it publicized so the public could see the time frame of when this meeting is supposed to be?
Yeah, it's advertised,
The 2 weeks prior to this meeting?
not 2 weeks. It says that you have to have, it doesn't state a specific amount of time.
So it was published in the Banner Press for this meeting, for this day.
And I guess the reason for the meeting is the other meeting was cut short due to, lack of board members controlling themselves, I would call it.
Well, but we had adjourned though for the executive order meeting, and I thought, ours was over. But it was, basically, it was understood that you were going to executive session and didn't say anything about coming back, you know, if you were gonna have a meeting, the rest of the meeting. You know, for the people that were there to come back.
When you
My understanding was you're going to executive session, and that was gonna be it, then you're gonna close the meeting and be done.
No, you can't do that. When you come out of a closed session, you have to reopen your open session and then adjourn your meeting.
So was that done?
Of course it wasn't.
So then why are we having a meeting again now, because that meeting is closed? Why are we having a secondary meeting here, a monthly meeting, and why is it brought up?
Because the board decided to finish our agenda.
Well, so the agenda wasn't done then that night.
No, they didn't adjourn our meeting, Pat.
Anybody else get any questions before we continue on?
You can't adjourn a meeting and go into executive session.
Correct.
I think that was done that night.
That was done that night, yes.
By Olive Township?
No,
Okay,
You've got mail.
and that's what I thought also.
it's
Uh,
illegal.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes, any other questions or comments?
One thing I have too is, you know, we jumped from the frying pan into the fire because we went from renting a grader to the next meeting to purchasing a grader without any input from the township, public, public and stuff.
There was people at the meeting that gave input.
Yeah, but it wasn't explained that, you know, there was gonna be something to be done. But it wasn't, how should I say, it should have been a meeting prior to the purchase. You don't just put input and then all of a sudden you're gonna make a decision to go for it. You know, it'd be nice to have input and people, I talked to a lot of people, they don't even know we got a grader, know we broke an interlocal agreement and the people in the township. So, you know,
And I've talked to a lot of them too, and they're happy as hell, Pat.
you're talking to people like.
It was all on the agenda. And that's the agenda.
Well, that was the agenda, the night that happened, but there was nothing previous, like it should have been a discussion, like when we purchased a shredder or something, we talked about it a month before and we looked at it, and then we said, let's go with it. We didn't just go, oh no, we're gonna buy it right now. You know, and that's basically what happened at the last meeting. Because the meeting that the meeting prior to that was under the assumption that we were just gonna rent a grader for the winter. That was the assumption that everybody had that was at the meeting. Then all of a sudden, all these things come up that, you know, this is gonna be dropped and that was gonna be dropped and be done, so.
Pat, wasn't it also said that if we're gonna rent a grader, then all it will pay for all the rent?
Yeah, so what does that mean?
And
Doesn't
the
mean
owner has to
doesn't
grade
mean
it.
you're buying a grader.
Why would we rent one, pay for half of another one, pay for half of a guy, employ another guy? Why would we do that, Pat?
Well, then why didn't you say we was gonna purchase a grader at that meeting instead of rent it?
We didn't know that. I didn't even know what the rent price was at that meeting, right?
But it still needs to be explained before you purchase it at the next meeting. Say, we're looking to purchase this, we wanna get some input on it and see where we're going.
Did you ask for input about buying the pickup, Pat?
Yes, we did, we talked about it, we discussed about it.
Did you ask for input on spending $35,000 on a $13,000 pickup? Cause I've been to pretty much every meeting and I don't remember you asking for that input.
We did discuss it between the two townships.
That's fine. Do you have anything else?
No.
We're gonna discuss the employee contract, and I guess if you'd like to be in closed session, we'll do that for you. I guess you guys want to step outside, unless there's another room back there.
Yeah.
So, equipment that we talked about, this is just 5 miles township, so he can't operate the equipment over there, is that correct? Yes. Okay. So, the question, you know, is vague. Does that mean that your new employee has access to the motor grader that's setting in Summit Township? Does that mean that your new employee has access to the tractor and the dump truck?
The tractor, you were told that it's alright if in a snowstorm, we can bring that forward. By you.
I'm not gonna.
So yes, the tractor maybe would be the only thing,
The tractor would be the only thing.
as far as I know right now.
Okay. If that was to change, between now and the 90 days before we're officially divorced, then it would be, the only way that can really change is that we have a meeting and discuss it, okay? I'm not gonna, Charlie, you're not gonna call me, and I'm gonna say yes, and you know, change the deal. So as it stands right now, if Ollie wants the tractor, they will provide the transportation over, jump in the tractor and get it over to Ollie Township. Problem then arises if Shane says, Don, I need the tractor to run the groove in Summit Township. That means he's going to come over and get the tractor and run it in Summit Township. These are the practical ramifications of what we're talking about, right? So there's not gonna be any hesitancy or blowback or anything.
We'll work with you.
All right, that'll work. So, I won't be in the middle of that, so a simple text message notifying me from Shane saying, hey, I'm gonna pop over and pick it up, tend to have it for a couple of days and whatnot. Okay. Frank, do you have a thought in there on the practical stuff?
Just one question, I'm not a lawyer, don't know no legal stuff. You're terminating him immediately tonight?
Correct.
Okay, and so our interlocal agreement is for another 60-some days, so you're still gonna be responsible for them 60 days of lawyer cost. And so you can legally do that. We will probably have to look into that, cause, if we have an interlocal agreement that says we're sharing costs, how can you fire our operator and we can't, and we don't wanna fire our operator?
You should ask your lawyer, ask your lawyer, they're not,
I guess I would want to see a legal document that says you can do that.
I guess what's your basis that you're.
I mean, why wouldn't you finish out the 60-some days? If you wanna make it easy for us to split up.
It'll be easy enough.
This is easy?
It's gonna be a lot easier than going to every meeting over there. So, but that's fine, we're getting into something we don't need to talk about.
Well, yes, we do, cause I don't know if you're doing what.
No, because you don't have an answer and I don't have an answer, I just said you need to talk to your attorney. After that, I don't have any more to discuss with you because I don't.
Well, I'm only doing this for the good of Summit Township.
I know, but you're trying to tell me something that you don't know, so, and.
I told you
should
I told you I'm not a lawyer.
I know, so
We're done.
I'm talking about it, that's what I mean, let's find out the facts.
I'm asking you if this is legal. Did you look into it with a lawyer to see if you can legally do this?
Yes, I did.
And they said, even though you have an interlocal agreement, you do not have to pay labor anymore.
Correct.
Wow.
Well, then the question I'm gonna ask is, since we don't have a maintainer operator anymore, who is it? And you need to answer that tonight, because we don't have one anymore. I know, but answer the question. And how much are they getting paid? Those two things need to be brought in transparency.
And I get the paperwork done.
No, you just fired our operator. We don't know who the new operator is. You just fired our operator.
I can run the motor grader if we need to.
But that's conflict of interest if you're gonna be operating because you're on the board and run the motor grader. If you're gonna be full-time on.
I'm not gonna charge them.
Okay.
When you, got paid to push snow, was that conflict of interest?
No, because it was part-time.
Okay, when the township bought the chains for you, Is that a conflict of interest?
No, because that's what they said they wanted to do to help pay for pushing the snow.
Okay.
So there.
Okay, that's fine.
But why can't we know who an operator is? Like you said, we just got rid of them. We
When I
don't
get
know
them
who
on
it is.
payroll and.
And the next thing is,
we get
where's it gonna be
insurance
parked?
and everything, don't worry about it right
Oh, I just love this. This is just.
It'll be closer to.
This is
City
supposed to be
back.
transparent. I don't care if it's supposed to be close
now.
to it.
Pat, I don't know where it's gonna be parked, so I'm
There's
not
multiple
gonna give you,
options.
I could lie to you and make something up, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that, we have several options, I'm trying to find the most reasonable option, price wise.
Don't you
I
think we should
don't
have done
know.
that before we bought a grader and got a new operator that we know? we can
December,
help?
Pat, kinda pressed for time, or could be.
Yeah, everything else back.
No, thank you.
One more thing, you need to regrade M Road from the lagoons to the house, cause they got done, they called me today, they're done putting the water line in it, I graded the gravel off of it, so it's gonna need to be touched up. That's all I have, that's the reason I came back in.
Thanks, Jim. Anybody else have anything? Make a motion to adjourn.
Set a time, date,
Oh, yeah.
before we do that.
Jim?
Oh. Just a curiosity question, could have been answered after the meeting. Are you planning on being, is a board member from Pollard planning on attending over on the second?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So when we get to that part of the agenda.
We'll be there to discuss that.
Okay, good enough.
And I'm not just saying I'm a lawyer, I'm not a lawyer, I'm assuming you're gonna pay the accumulated bills up to this point.
Absolutely. We'll pay, this, we'll talk to Lori, we'll get all the bills, we'll pay everything we owe, correct?
Yeah, it runs, I mean, the 90 days runs for 90 days, and that's what it is, it's a joint payment, so we back out, we do the payment. No,
I understand that.
okay,
Not until today.
Well, like on the motor grader and stuff.
Yeah,
that we still own, we still
Yeah,
own.
as far as fuel and that, though, I don't think we can pay that for the next 90, or whatever's left on that, 60 days.
if the maintainer, if the maintainer doesn't move, then we go across your road, and we have the beautiful way of detecting that, because we have vision link, so we know exactly where the grader is, how long it's out in session. So we have that, so we know that part. If the tractor, however, is burning fuel, that probably just needs to be continued on a 50-50 basis through until the dissolve.
I would think if we grab the tractor, we would just fuel it up, what I mean?
So, from a rental car point, using that as a perspective, to see how that works. If we come and get it, if it's not full, then should we fill it, and that would be the bill you would expect to pay? And then when we return it, if we return it full, and you use it, then we would expect it to be full.
We'll just make sure that we end up pretty even on it, yeah, that's fine.
We could work it.
If I-
kind of thing.
If I take the tractor and it's empty, we're gonna put fuel in it, and if we take it back and it has a half a tank, I'd probably not worry too much about it. Just let it be, let you guys have the half a tank of fuel. Like, I'm not gonna measure the damn gas tank or fuel tank, but I'm just talking, the main thing would be like for a motor grader that could, burns a lot of fuel, and if we have a bad winter, then thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, well, that's, you guys can pay your own fuel on that. Of course, we understand the equipment's still owned together by us, so that's all, that's all both of our responsibilities, so.
Agreed.
And did you have a general idea of how you were going to split this equipment up? Do you
I
have
had a
any
great idea that is fair, that I don't know if we could argue it.
Total fairest thing I ever heard of.
You wanna share it with us?
Put on auction, sell it, and if you want it, buy it.
You can't put a grader that's got a loan on auction.
Yeah, you can.
And
You
why
just
not?
put them as that there's a lien on it.
I guess my argument on that
The
is that
proceeds will pay off the loan, and what's left, you'll get the balance of it.
we budgeted for that maintainer with the 5-year loan. We got 2 more payments on it. My objectivity of that is that we could get an appraisal on the valuation of the machine. When we left the county, they wanted our machine, we only did half. We got John Deere came in, praised it, county wanted it, we says, fine, they paid us half the appraisal, county owned the whole thing, okay? So if we could do the same thing with the machine, cause we'd like to keep that machine, we have a 2-year budget on it yet. So if we could take over what you would owe on it, get it appraised, see what your half is worth, and just take what you owe left on it off of what we would owe for the half.
We can,
I mean, cause we really like to keep
that's,
our machine.
that's the only idea I had, I hear you, and we'll just have to talk about it.
Well, I mean, that is, you know, that's my idea on the machine. You know, the other stuff is, you can pick up any place, but, machine you can't. And you guys know that, you just bought one, so you know, we just can't pick one up. So I mean, that's what we did with the county, Jim's here, that's what we did, and it worked fine, none of us argued, we raised value, they bought us out, and we got our own machine. Pretty simple.
Yeah. We'll get something figured out, I mean,
Yes, we will.
it's,
Yeah, we have 60 days, so.
that's the word.
I guess our next meeting will be January 2nd here at 5 o'clock. Yours is at 7 o'clock?